Hi, welcome back. It's hotter than hell out here. It's currently 100 degrees right now, and I'm sitting in the only shady spot in the garage. I have work I need to do. My homie Jay actually bought me a super bitchin' like air conditioner for the garage, but it's like buried away because of the winter. And I'm gonna have to go out there and work on Mike's car. He has his 300ZX over here. If you guys saw in the last video, it was parked outside. He brought it over here. He did do a giveaway on it, but I'm gonna go over a couple things on that car, clean it up, clean the engine bay up, and try and make it where it's nice. And not that it's not nice, but there's some wires and some stuff that needs to be cleaned up. So I'm gonna, I think I also gotta change the dipstick tube, just a couple little things, but I need to go out there where the sun's at. If you guys know me, I hate the sun. The heat doesn't bother me so much, but the sun really bothers me. And it being 100 degrees outside, I'm not even working on the G. Like, I went to the front, I got the dampener puller from SOB Rick. I was able to pull the dampener off, but when I pulled it off, there's actually a keyway. I forgot that I have to drill a hole in the keyway, so I have to get that tool now. So yeah, this is kind of on the back burner again. However, I really didn't plan on working on this car so much today. I do need to get Mykes cleaned up because when he gets back from Hawaii, I think he's gonna be able to have all of the stuff in line where he's gonna be able to do the pull and have the car, go to its new home. So yeah, that's first things first, but I'm chilling here with the water trying to cool down real quick, and then we're gonna get out there. So as much as I hate to say it, let's get out there. All right, so I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, know this is Mike's 300ZX. This is pretty much the OG that started his channel, but he did do a giveaway on it. Give you guys kind of a walk around. I'm sure you guys have seen it plenty on his channel, but it's really cool. It's a really nice car. There's a lot of there's so much into this car. It's gone through so many different things over the years, but all right, let's open up the hood, show you. I will also not be driving this car, just so you guys know. I'm sure you guys want to see like a ride along or a whatever driving, but I can't do it because Mike's huge. He's like 6'2", 6'3", and his seat's fixed, and I can't reach the pedals. I guess I'm a little guy in comparison. So we're just gonna be working on it today. But let's get over here. We're gonna work this, or open this up, I'm sorry. No hood prop. JDM things. Kind of tilt this. Don't break the window, please. So you guys can see it's an SR swapped. I'm sure you guys already know about this car, but as I always do in my channel, and when I'm working on anything, I kind of give like an overview of the car. So it being Mike's car, we're gonna pretty much just clean up. We're gonna clean up some stuff down here. There's some wires. There's like a thing hanging down there. I do have to change the dipstick tube. I don't even know where it's at on this. It's right there. So I think he has it inside. But yeah, we're gonna clean it up a little bit and get it ready for its new owner. So I need to grab a couple things, grab some zip ties, maybe some wire loom stuff, and yeah, let's make this thing nice. for the majority of this done. I don't really have much more I need to do. I do need to change the dipstick tube, but the dipstick tube that came from Nissan doesn't have an O-ring on it, and I don't have an O-ring, and it's like 8 o'clock. I don't know if I can go get one from O'Reilly, so I'm gonna have to go check that, and then by the time I get back, I'm sure it's gonna be dark. So I wanted to show you guys kind of the progress. You guys can scroll back in the video and see just how much actually got cleaned up. I'm actually kind of impressed with it. If I go down in here, you can see everything's like kind of underneath the intake manifold. Looks super clean. So when you look down here, you don't just see a whole bunch of wires and a bunch of sensors and stuff hanging. It's kind of temporary right now. I know Mike wants to do something with it. I don't remember what it was, but he said if I can like just pull it up so that way it's not dragging on the ground, it's not looking messy, it's not, you know, tugging on anything. So that looks pretty good. Come around over here. You can see I didn't really even have to do much to here. He was concerned with this kind of hanging down. It was underneath here. There's a bunch of oil. We did take out the catch can. The catch can doesn't have a little dipstick tube. If you guys don't know about the oil catch cans, they usually have a dipstick tube here, but his like blew out or something. He just had to remove it, and that thing's pretty full too. So I removed it here. It was like blowing a bunch of oil everywhere. So we kind of shortened up the vacuum line that comes across here and goes here to pull this up and out of the way of the power steering. And then we kind of just used some zip ties and, you know, took our time a little bit and cleaned it up. So it's not anything real crazy or real heinous, but it's one of those that just little things, little fine details. I even like zip tied these all together so everything looks neat. I know it's zip ties, like you could use different fasteners and stuff like that, but the zip ties, especially for a car like this, that's a purpose-built car, zip ties will do fine. And then if you ever have to get to something or get to it quickly, you can cut the zip ties and put it back. So that's kind of the reason why we went with the zip ties. But I'm not gonna do the dipstick tube right now because of the fact that I do need to get that O-ring. I'm just gonna tell Mike about it. It's like easy. All we have to do is just take off this pretty much. It's loose. It's it doesn't have the fastener that bolts to the head, so that's the reason why he wants to replace it. But all we'll have to do is literally pull up, put the O-ring on, and shove it back in. So not a big deal. One thing I did want to mention, if you guys stay till the end of the video, I am going to give you guys a little sneak peek. I mentioned in the last video that there might be another car coming to the channel, and I think you guys are going to love it. And honor code, don't be skipping forward, don't be checking it out. I will show you, I promise, but it's going to be at the end of the video. So I hope you guys are stoked about that. I'm super stoked about that. It's still kind of wild to me, but and I am getting the Datsun because you guys keep asking. You're like, oh, not getting the Datsun, mess around and have this and you know, have this money and actually not buy the Datsun. I am gonna buy the Datsun. I told you guys that's my dream car, but just not yet. Like I said, I haven't found the, God, this sun's baking me. I haven't found the one that I want yet. So I have Kevin Neely. If you guys saw Mike's video when Mike kind of surprised me to show me like some, you know, motivation with the Skyline engine in the Datsun 510 that's being built. That guy is super cool. Shout out to you, Big Kev. Thank you for all the help and all the knowledge. And he keeps dropping me some like 510 posts. Hey, check this one out, call this guy, and this type of stuff. So we are actively looking, but like I said, we just haven't found it yet. So back to this. I think that's gonna call it for right now. One thing I did notice when I was actually moving this kind of came up and went over and looked all ugly. So I took this off to remove it. It's like dry. Well, it's not dry in there. You can see some fluid, but I need to top this off for him. I do want to check the oil. Want to make sure that this kind of, you know, is just kind of up to par. So he does drive this car. I know that it's okay. And then on top of it, I got to wipe it down. You guys know how it goes. Like, this is like, look at this crap. That's not okay. That's not acceptable. Sorry, Mike. I know it's like sat for a minute, but you're in Hawaii and I'm bitter. Nah, I'm just playing. Anyway, so we're gonna wipe it down. We're gonna clean it up. I'm gonna top off the coolant, and then, yeah, I think then it's gonna be time for me to, oh, I'm gonna show you the update on the G35, and then I'm gonna show you guys kind of the sneak peek. So yeah, hang tight. There, that's a lot cleaner, a lot better. That's the way it should look. Things are wiped down. Everything looks nice, tucked, put away correctly, topped off the coolant. There's only one last thing that we can do now. I'm sure you guys want to hear it, so I can at least do that for you. So let's do it. sit here, let it warm up a little bit. I gotta put a little bit of belt dressing on that pulley. The aluminum pulley makes a little bit of noise, but this car runs super good. Sounds super nice. I'm talking to y'all like you guys have never seen or heard this car, but this is one of my favorite cars that he has in his fleet. It's not my favorite one out of them, but it's definitely one of them. I have a soft spot for the 300ZX, and I love this car on these wheels. I told him, once he gets rid of it, do not sell him with these wheels. So, sorry y'all, I think he's gonna keep them. But, let it warm up a little bit. I'm gonna get some belt dressing for that, hopefully shut that up a little bit, and then we'll be done with this project for today. There, that's better. Alright, so the sun's almost down, some time has passed. We'll come over here, turn this off, put that in, lock her up. Wrong way, Aaron. Okay, close this up. This twin Z hood looks so good. Look at that. Vicious. All right, now that we got everything put away, we're gonna come over here real quick just to give you a little update. Show you, here's the balancer is off. I kind of started putting the belts just to see the routing. I did have to take these back off just to be able to put the belt in between here because it does sit on there. There's no way of feeding it in without taking these off. So I just kind of have it sitting there. But you can see on here, if I go all the way around, there is no keyway. So that's the way that these are. They're actually pressed on and then the bolt goes on. But on the new ATI dampener, if you look in there, you can see that there is a keyway at the top. Here, make it a little bit easier for you. There you go. So in order for this to sit properly and sit in the correct position, I'm gonna have to find the top dead center part for that to go on to mark it, and then there's a tool that actually slides over it. It has two holes, one to hold it, the other one has a thing that you drill, and then once you drill it, then there'll be a pin for that to slide onto. It helps hold it in place. It's more for when you're doing like big power stuff. However, I'm not gonna even mess with the fact that I don't want it to be not on there correctly. So we're gonna do it right. We're gonna get the thing. I think Mike's homie Jamar has the tool for that. So I'm gonna have to borrow that from him. And then when I do it, we'll get back on this project and do that. So like I said in the last video, I do have to figure out some of the wiring stuff still. I thought I had a printout for how this wiring harness is set up, but for some reason I can't find it, so I'm gonna have to call LOJ and make sure. I think I have an idea of where things go. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that this is for the alternator for the factory. You can see on here, this is a green, this is a white. They do have stripes, but when you go to here, this is a green and a white. So 99.9% positive that's correct, but I want to make sure. I want this car to be able to start on the first try, have no issues, have an AC charged, and be able to just drive out of here and be bitching the way we know that it's going to be. So yeah, now on for the sneak peek. Let's go. I can't stay here long, but I want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, and I also want to show you, if you see that hatchback right there, that's actually my old hatchback. That's actually coming to the channel, and I'll explain everything in just a minute. Okay, so just getting home. It's crazy, the guy lives literally like a mile away from me, and I didn't know that for the longest time, and then I drove by and I was like, wait, I think that's my old hatchback. So, little backstory, I'm not gonna go into lots of detail. That was pretty much the first car that got me into really modifying cars and really learning about modifying cars. If you guys have seen one of my older videos, it was pretty much a whole like outline on how I got into cars, and it was the fact that a shop had taken advantage of me and I wasn't able to you know, really recover from it. It was one of those that it was like they kept asking for money, they kept wanting all of this stuff. Little did I know that he was like just stealing money from me. My car didn't need the parts, and so it was a Honda. And it was one of those that it was like after that big long ordeal and all the money being stolen from me, I was like, I want to work on cars, I want to learn about cars, I want to modify cars, and I don't want to get, like, you know, taken advantage of. So that was the first car. That Civic right there is actually the first car I did my first swap in. It has a GSR swap in it. It has a whole bunch of goodies, suspension stuff. And the guy that I sold it to back in like 2010, I think. And when I sold it to him, it had all the stuff on it. He took the car, I guess he showed the car, he raced the car, he did a bunch of stuff with the car. And then 2013, I guess the car sat, and it's literally been in the driveway ever since. He said that he doesn't really have time to put money into it. He doesn't have time to do stuff with it. And he was thinking about like fixing it up until I went down there and I told him, hey, I'm the original owner. I met you way back in like 2007 or whatever it was, and sold the car to you, you know, and if it's something that you're looking to get rid of, because I'd seen it's collecting dust, it has like new dents in it, like the body is not in great condition. And so that's something that my man over at Martinez Auto Body is gonna have to take care of for me, hint, hint. Anyway, he's gonna take care of that for me, and we're gonna make that car super bitchin', up to date. I wanna do a lot of stuff with it, and I'm bringing a Honda to the channel. You guys have been asking Mike for it. You've been, you know, hinting to me towards it, and I was originally a Honda guy a long time ago. I'm still like Nissan faithful. I've always been for Nissans, Datsuns, that type of stuff, and the whole drifting thing. But to have my original car, the first thing that got me started in all of the modification stuff, would be just so cool to be able to rebuild, revamp, bring up, and, you know, create a whole new avenue and a whole new relationship basis for the channel, and something for you guys to learn something about, and for me to even learn something about, because you guys know I know these cars in and out and backwards and in braille with your eyes closed, uphill in the snow. And, you know, I love these cars. Drifting is always going to be, you know, part of my soul and the stuff that I'm going to get into. But as far as like the street, you know, presence goes and stuff like that, it's going to be sick to have a Honda. So yeah, I'm bringing a Honda to the channel. So I hope you guys are stoked about that. Tell your friends, come subscribe, because I'm getting it soon. I talked to that guy probably 2 weeks ago, and he said that he's probably getting ready to hand it over to me. So getting it back for a good price, and yeah, I'm stoked on it. So there's going to be that. There's going to be the Datsun. There's gonna be this car. I'm gonna be revamping this, bringing this to the track. Like, this year is about to kick off, and next year, when we are just gonna hit the ground running and have like all of these projects, hopefully have all 3 projects going and building, and like I said, a whole bunch of track life. I'm trying to get rid of my Subaru so that way I can get a truck and a trailer and like really hit a lot of events. Sorry, I'm like sweating like a pig out here. But I can't wait to start driving and getting mad seat time, and then, you know, building something that's, you know, not a Nissan, and learning and, you know, sharing with you guys and that type of stuff. So yeah, so here it comes. But I'm gonna go inside before I melt. I think the girl's gonna be back on her way with some food. I need to edit this video, and yeah, I can't wait to see y'all in the morning. So I hope you guys have been well. I hope your families have been well. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. Please be safe. Don't blow your hands off on the 4th of July. I'll be checking on you on Wednesday. So you guys have a great time with your family. Be safe, enjoy the festivities, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Much love. Peace, y'all.